to 15. Sicarii set, nigga, you know the vibes, nigga, we do this shit. Ooh, don't run out of time, don't run out of time, don't run out of time. I got to get on my grind, got to make up a mind. I gotta pray, cause without God, how could I shine? Stereotype committing a crime. I know the heat and better fall in line. Better get racks up for the dollar crash, cause he always giving a sign. Promise to the Wonder Woman, yes, she treat me right, so she always stay on my mind. Start without faith, you leading the blind. Keeping the law, don't fall with the swine. Right the bell arms and it's on my side, so corridor set, we built to survive. Like, ooh, don't run out of time, don't run out of time, don't run out of time. I got to get on my grind, she got to make up a mind. I gotta pray, cause without God, how could I shine? Stereotype committing a crime. I know the heat and better fall in line. Better get racks up for the dollar crash, cause he always giving a sign. Promise to the Wonder Woman, yes, she treat me right, so she always stay on my mind. Start without faith, you leading the blind. Keeping the law, don't fall with the swine. Right the bell arms and it's on my side, so corridor set, we built to survive. Like, these niggas be talking, biblical smoker had a heathen coffin. Claiming they know the Bible but be scoffing. Hearing the gospel, leave him in a coffin. Living in water just like I'm a dolphin. Preaching the word could never be softened. Spinning the block, I never be parking. Reading the scripture, you know that I'm stalking. Like, do what you do, bringing it out with my brother the truth. See me with fringes a ribbon of blue. Stepping no heat is really nothing new. Niggas be tripping, I'm tying my shoe. Scriptures be cooking like they in stew. Catch me at camp, Sicarii the crew. Beating the case, nobody can sue. Like, do. My brother in danger, you know I'ma shoot. John 15:13, the truth. Later my life, I know he would too. Let me be tough, it's stuck like some glue. Chloe the sister, she my laboo. Better repent before it's too late. Cause if you don't, you gon' be doomed. Like, ooh, don't run out of time, don't run out of time, don't run out of time. I got to get on my grind, she got to make up a mind. I gotta pray, cause without God, how could I shine? Stereotype committing a crime. I know the heat and better fall in line. Better get racks up for the dollar crash, cause he always giving a sign. Promise to the Wonder Woman, yes, she treat me right, so she always stay on my mind. Start without faith, you leading the blind. Keeping the law, don't fall with the swine. Right the bell arms and it's on my side, so corridor set, we built to survive. Like,
these niggas be tripping. Watching Sicarii camp, but ain't listening. Trying to get the laws down, that's the mission. Trying to stop everybody from they sinning. Like, spiritual battle. Baba got hands like it's Canelo. Leave your brain looking like Jello. Precept slapping you by saying hell no, hell no, hell no. Message to you, you better get right before the time is through, or your Hawashah will come through, have you looking like missile food. Trust me, that shit is real. I'm tired of my people out here getting killed. All y'all heathens gonna get drilled. Esau, you going in the grill. Believe that. Spitting these facts while putting Space City on the map. Got these haters all on our back, but with God we can handle that. Handle that. Trust and believe. Time is almost up for us to leave. Keep your faith and just believe. Works and faith is all you need.
ooh, don't run out of time, don't run out of time, don't run out of time. I got to get on my grind, she got to make up a mind. I gotta pray, cause without God, type committing a crime. I know the heat and better fall in line. Better get racks up for the dollar crash, cause he always giving a sign. Promise to the Wonder Woman, yes, she treat me right, so she always stay on my mind. Start without faith, you leading the blind. Keeping the law, don't fall with the swine. Right the bell arms and it's on my side, so corridor set, we built to survive. Like, ooh, don't run out of time, don't run out of time, don't run out of time.
Shalom, shalom. Yo, mic check, mic check. As you can hear me?
Shalom, shalom. Yes, I can. What's going on, family?
What about you, Mary?
Yo.
Con. All right, man. As always, I'm gonna start by saying Kahala Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah. And hey, man, we back. We back for another lesson, man. Back for another lesson. As y'all can see, the title is Daniel 7. Daniel chapter 7 proves who the white man is and shatters salvation for all nations, man. Right? So we're gonna get into it through the spirit today, man. Very, very informational lesson is planned today. We're gonna go through Daniel, the 7th chapter, basically give it an understanding. For those of y'all that caught the Revelations 13 class, this is very, very related. I know we touched on Daniel 7 a tad bit, but now we're gonna go more in depth in Daniel chapter 7 and also Daniel chapter 2. And also Daniel chapter 2, because both of those are kind of like parallel chapters of each other. All right. So let me do this. All right. Let me share my screen on my other computer.
Man, y'all make sure y'all go check out that don't run out of time, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to let y'all know we got some cooking up for y'all, man. Don't we've been seeing y'all asking for the album, but just stay tuned. Just keep waiting. We got something for you.
Hey man, good things happen to those that wait,
You
right?
feel me?
Right. Let me present my screen and we can go ahead and get started.
Hey, shout out to the Battle X down there, man. He's at work still finna into work. You feel me?
Con, all praises, man. This work don't stop, man. This work don't stop. All praises, right? So let's get into it. Let's start off. Let's go to Daniel, the 7th chapter, right? So in Daniel chapter 7, just to give you a brief summary before we go into it, for those of y'all who may not be familiar with this chapter, Daniel is seeing a vision of the 4 beasts, right? And these beasts are symbolic of kings and their kingdoms, right? And how do we know that? Let's go to Daniel 7 and verse 17. Mary, you can read that for me. Let me zoom in.
God. This is Daniel 7 and verse 17. These great beasts, which are four kings which shall arise out of the earth.
Right. So the beasts that we're about to talk about, right, tonight, they're 4 kings. They're 4 kings or 4 kingdoms, man, that are going to arise on the earth. One of which during, well, 2 of which during Daniel's time, and then the rest later on in history, right? And actually, this is it parallels the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had in Daniel chapter 2. We're gonna look at that, and we're gonna see how they coincide with one another. So let's start from the top. Go ahead, give me Daniel chapter 7 and verse 1.
Daniel 7 and 1 from the top.
Come on.
This is Daniel 7 from the top. In the first year of what's that say? Belshazzar, Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed.
Mm-hmm.
Then he wrote the dream, and he told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
So now let's take a look at these beasts, right? So the first beast that he sees, right, and we're gonna get into it. But the first beast, man, is a lion. All right, go ahead, Op.
Khan. This is verse 4. The first was like a lion, and had eagle wings, and I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon, and a man's heart was given unto it.
And a man's heart was given unto it, right? So this beast right here, man, is talking about Babylon, or more specifically, the Neo-Babylonian Empire, right? And we're gonna get into it. Now, this class is gonna be very history centered, right? It's gonna be half Bible, half history. Because the beautiful thing about the Bible is that the Bible coincides with history.
Right? That's right.
So and you know, for you believers, man, this, as we go through this class, this should be a faith booster, because we're about to read actual history, and then we're going to look at the Bible, and it's going to be prophetic. That happened thousands of years, hundreds and thousands of years before it even happened. All right. So let's look at this, right? So it says the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. So when we look at Babylon, their number one image or icon that they pushed was that of the lion. That's the image that Babylon was known for of having, is the lion. If you remember from Revelation 13. So let's read about the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Okay. And the reason why it's Neo-Babylonian, and we're going to get into it a little bit when we read this article, is because you had an ancient Babylon during the time of Abraham.
God.
Right. So technically it wouldn't be correct for you to say ancient Babylon, because you had an ancient Babylon. That ancient Babylon was all the way back during the time of Hammurabi. This Babylon is, you got Nebuchadnezzar and Belshazzar and all of them. This is the Neo-Babylonian Empire. We're going to read it a little bit. All right. Maribel, can you read from Yeah, just read what's on the screen.
Can you see that out?
Can you see it? If not, then Oz can probably just read it.
I got you. What do you want to read from up?
Just read from here and just stop after this paragraph that talks about Judah.
Okay. It says the Neon-Babylonian Empire, also known as the Second Babylonian Empire or the Chaldean Empire. Yeah, the Chaldean Empire, it says, was the last Mesopotamian emperor ruled by native monarchs.
Yep.
It says it began with the Nabopolassar.
Yeah. I know some of these names, man. We about to butcher some of these names. It's all right, man.
Coronation in 626 BCE. It was firmly established after the fall of the Neo-Assyrian Empire in 612 BCE. However, it fell to the, how you say that? The Achaemenid Persian Empire.
Now remember that. Remember that. It fell to the Persian Empire. Keep reading.
In 539 BC, marking the end of the Chaldean dynasty less than a century after its inception.
Mm-hmm.
The empire signified the first resurge of Babylon and southern Mesopotamia overall as a dominant force in the ancient Near East since the collapse of the old Babylonian Empire under Hammurabi. It says nearly 1,000 years prior.
And this is why, it is the Neo-Babylonian Empire, because you had a old Babylonian Empire that was under Hammurabi. That was 1,000 years before this time. That's why it says there was a resurgence of Babylon. Keep reading.
It says the Neo-Babylonian period experienced significant economy and population growth, and a culture renaissance. It says kings of this era undertook extensive building projects, reviving elements from 2,000 years of Sumero. I can't say that. How you say that?
Akkadian.
Sumero-Akkadian culture, especially in Babylon. It says the Neo-Babylonian Empire is particularly remembered due to its deception in the Bible. You said what? I'm sorry, the depiction in the Bible, especially regarding Nebuchadnezzar II. It says the Bible focuses on Nebuchadnezzar's military action against Judah and the siege of Jerusalem in 587 BCE, leading to the destruction of Solomon's temple and the Babylonian captivity. Babylonian records, however, portray Nebuchadnezzar reigning as a golden age, elevating Babylonia to unprecedented heights.
Now, and this right here shows you that this Babylon, right, this Neo-Babylon is the Babylon that we read about in Daniel. It's the Babylon that we see in 2 Kings. It's the Babylon that the Israelites went under that Babylonian captivity. This is emphatically that captivity, right? And now let's look at this lion, right? The Lion of Babylon, and I'll read this one. It reads, the Lion of Babylon, a 2,600-year-old black basalt statue of a lion trampling a man, is among the most celebrated archaeological artifacts in the history of Iraq. The first sculpture to be rediscovered in Babylon in the late 18th century. The basalt lion is believed to have been taken from a Neo-Hittite city in Syria to be finished in Babylon. The theme of the lion is ubiquitous throughout the history of the region as a symbol of power and overcoming adversity and enemies. In Babylon, the lion was associated with the goddess Ishtar, and in fact, the statue's back has markings indicating it was likely meant to carry a sitting goddess Ishtar. And those markings, that's why when you go to the Daniel chapter 7, you see this lion with those eagle's wings, man.
Yeah.
Then let's take a look. What does this word ambiguous mean?
I was so about to ask.
Yeah, let's take a look at that, right? Because it says this lion was ubiquitous. See what ubiquitous means. Look at this. All right, let me blow it up. Ubiquitous. It means present appearing or found everywhere. This lion was found everywhere in Babylon, man, on the walls, the statues, the cultures. Babylon was known for having this lion as a depiction. So whenever you go back to Daniel chapter 7, right, and it says, "And the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings," this is talking about Babylon. "And I beheld till the wings thereof was plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made man stand upon the feet as man, and a man's heart was given unto it." So this is going into how Babylon rose into power and then begins to quickly lose its authority as a world power, right? So let's go to actually, before we go to Daniel 7 and 4, let's just emphasize how this is talking about the current Babylon that Daniel is in. Maribel, give me Daniel chapter 2. 2, and give me verse 31.
This is Daniel 2 and verse 31.
Now
Thou,
let me get some context. So in Daniel chapter 2, you have King Nebuchadnezzar. He has a dream, and I encourage everyone to read these chapters too, right? Because we're kind of just getting to the point. But in Daniel chapter 2, the king Nebuchadnezzar, he has a dream that he can't remember, but the dream troubled him so much that he needed an interpreter. And along comes Daniel, and Daniel interprets his dream. So what we're reading right now is Daniel interpreting the king's dream. So go ahead, read to verse 38.
Khan. This is Daniel 2 and verse 31. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
This image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet part of iron and part of clay.
Mm-hmm.
Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like a shaft of a somber thresh, threshing threshing floor. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth.
Mm-hmm.
This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven have given thee a kingdom, power, and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the fields, and the fowls of the heavens have he given unto thy hand, and thou made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold.
And this is Daniel telling King Nebuchadnezzar that he is this head of gold. So at the start of the statue, and we're going to break down the statue later on tonight, but at the start of this statue, man, the head of it, this is King Nebuchadnezzar. This is the Neo-Babylonian Empire. That's how we know that this beast in Daniel chapter 7, when we go back to it, right, says the first was like a lion. So here we have Daniel telling King Nebuchadnezzar of these nations, hey, you're the first one. You are the golden head. And then he has another dream in Daniel chapter 7 of this lion, both of which coincides with the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Because remember, it said what? Nebuchadnezzar reigned as a golden age, elevating Babylonia to unprecedented heights. Daniel chapter 2 just told us that. The Lord gave it to him. The Lord gave it to King Nebuchadnezzar. So this is how you know the first beast in Daniel chapter 7. This is Babylon, emphatically. Christians don't get a lot of prophecy right. But they get this one right because it's so blatant. It's so blatant. Everyone knows that this beast right here is talking about Babylon. So whenever you start this prophecy and you know that the first beast is Babylon, now you have a domino effect of all the rest of the beast that comes later. Right? So let's move on to the second beast. Go ahead, Ak. Read verse 5.
This is Daniel. This is Daniel 7 and verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear. It is raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they say thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
Arise and devour much flesh. So this beast right here would be the Medo-Persian Empire, right? And of course, with the Medo-Persian Empire, you had the Persians and you had the Medes. This is why whenever you look and it says it raised itself up on one side, is because the Persians eventually overtook the Medes. The Persians were a much more established nations, and they are the ones who eventually ruled when it came out of the two groups.
Didn't we correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if we was going over this with Deacon, but he said like somewhere in history, like somebody pulled up on the Babylonian, they just gave it to them because they knew, you know what I'm saying? Yep. They knew about this prophecy themselves, so they just knew, hey, y'all got it, it's y'all turn.
Yeah, that's in the Cyrus cylinders.
The Cyrus cylinders, yes.
The Cyrus cylinders. We don't have time to go into maybe another day, because that's really interesting. That's how you prove the prophecies of the destruction of Babylon isn't talking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Because Babylon is supposed to be taken with violence. Whenever Cyrus came, there wasn't they essentially just let him in. And it's really deep. Like when you go into history, they essentially thought he was one of their gods. And Cyrus pulled a fast one and became, quote unquote, the chosen one of their gods. Right. Yo, Shalom King. Yaqub is doing fine, man. He's doing fine. He's gonna make an appearance real soon. Right. So just keep him in your prayers still.
Yeah, he just, sometimes when he goes through his chemo, he's a little down and out. So if you brothers could, give a prayer for the brother for strength, you know what I'm saying? That would help.
Con. But other than that, man, the brother's in great health. Well, as great health as he can be. And he's in good spirits. All right. But yeah, back to this beast. So with it being raised up on one side, that represents the Persians come more so into power. And then it says it had 3 ribs in his mouth. Right now, these 3 ribs represent the 3 main nations that it overtook, which would be Babylon, Libya, and Egypt. Them are the 3 regions that the Medo-Persian, and we're about to read it, that the Medo-Persian Empire overtook to become a world power, right? And it said it has 3 ribs in its mouth of it, between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, arise and devour much flesh, which goes into war and conquest. This is how they became a powerful nation. When you know anything about the Persians, man, at this time, nobody could mess with the Persians. Correct me if I'm wrong. He studied history.
Nah, I mean, when the Persians came through, they came through. They damn near took over like the whole Middle East at one point. That's why they was trying to head to go take over Greece and Rome.
Con, right? So let's read a little bit about them. Because remember, what we read with Babylon fell to who? The Achaemenid Persian Empire.
Yep.
So if Babylon fell to the Persians, that would only make this second beast the Persians. But let's look at the Persians. Let's read about the Persians. All right. Persian Wars of Conquest. Let me blow it up. There we go. I just read this first paragraph.
It says the Persian Empire was the great rival of ancient Greece during its golden age.
Now remember, hold on. Now remember, it's the rival of ancient Greece, right? Remember that. Keep reading.
It says during its golden age, it came to permission under Cyrus the Great in 550 BC. And lasted until it was overthrown by the Macedonians under Alexander the Great in 331 BC. During this period, Persia was the largest, richest, and most powerful empire the world had known, encompassing the formerly great kingdoms of the Medes, modern Iran, Babylon, modern Iraq and Syria, and Lydia, modern Turkey, and Egypt. And at its peak stretched from thence in Europe to India.
Hey man, and those are the three nations. Those are the three ribs that's in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You got now you know it overtook the Medes being on one side, but it overtook the prominent nations of Babylon, which is modern day Iraq and Syria, Libya, which would be modern day Turkey, and Egypt. It corresponds and lines up perfectly with biblical prophecy. Because once again, we know emphatically that the first beast is Babylon.
Yeah,
And we know emphatically that the Persians came and overtook Babylon, man.
Yeah, even if you go into history and you see how, like, when the Greeks and the Persians going to war, there was no way that the Greeks should have won. It was literally only through God. Because, you know, God, his word doesn't come back void. So it had to happen. You know what I'm saying?
And then actually, because this wasn't a part of my lesson,
Doesn't it say that Alexander the Great says there was like some type of like UFOs that helped him fight?
Yeah, that's what he said. But you know, Alexander, man,
you know, he was
that's a Edomite, boy.
I don't know, I can't take it, but you know, it could have been true, you know.
Let me see. We're gonna go trying to look for something real quick. Yep. Hey, give me, because it mentions Cyrus the Great, right? And this is why I say when you read the Bible, it's a faith booster because you see these historical people in the Bible. Somebody give me Daniel 10 and verse 1. Let me get there for you.
Book of Daniel.
This is Daniel 10 and 1. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belteshazzar, and the thing was true. But the time, but the time anointed was long, and he understood the thing, and he had understanding of the vision. In those days,
right, and the purpose of bringing this up, now you go right there. You good right there. But the purpose of me bringing this up, man, is that you see now rulership is given to Cyrus, the king of Persia. And this is the same thing that we see, what? Prominence under Cyrus the Great.
Yep. Name drop.
Name drops, man. Name drops. This emphatically, once again, proves what? The second beast is this Persian Media Empire. So let's go back. All right, let's go back to Daniel 7, right? Con. Right. So now we got the first beast, which is the Neo-Babylonian Empire. We got the second beast, which is the Persian Media Empire. Now let's look at this third beast. What nation or what kingdom overtook the Persians? Let's see, right? Go ahead. I read verse 6.
Con. This is Daniel 7 and verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of his 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and the dominion was given to it.
And dominion was given unto it, right? So now, whenever we look at history, we know the first beast is Babylon, emphatically. And now we know through that the second beast is the Medo-Persian Empire. Well, the empire that came right after that was the Greeks. We just read that. We read that looking at the Persian Wars of Conquest. Look, was overthrown by what? Macedonians under Alexander the Great. Under Alexander the Great, which makes what? It makes this third beast the Greeks. It makes this third beast the Greeks. Then when you look at it, watch this. Alexander the Great, right? Let's look at Alexander the Great. Let's look at some pictures of Alexander the Great, right?
He wasn't a real person, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, right? Before I look at define his leopard, this is a white man. I don't care what nobody tells me.
That's a white man.
This is a so-called Caucasian, right? And we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna touch on that more. But obviously, everyone in the world knows that Alexander the Great, he's a white man, right? But let me find. Yeah, this might do, right? So oftentimes Alexander is pictured with a leopard skin because he would ride into battle with a leopard skin on his horse sometimes, right? Let me see if I can get a better picture of this.
Type in Alexander the Great leopard skin. See if it pop up.
There it is, right there.
Oh, there you go.
There it is, right there, right. And look at this. This is World History Encyclopedia. You see it. He's riding on a horse with a leopard skin, just like the beast that Daniel saw in Daniel chapter 7. Right? So let's go back to Daniel chapter 7. So we know that this beast here is the Greeks, and it says, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. Now, what's that's going into? That's going into his influence. That's going into the culture of the Greeks, specifically Hellenization. Because these wings, what do the wings do? They flap out. They flap out, and they what's the word? They overlook things the same way that the Greeks did. The same way that the Greeks went about all of the known world and began to conquer people and began to force them onto their own ideologies and force them to become Greeks. Right? Let's look at that. Let's somebody give me that in First Maccabees. Let's prove and show Alexander the Great. Because remember, Alexander the Great is the one who overtook the Persians. The Bible say the same thing. So give me First Maccabees. Give me First Maccabees, verse 1.
Gotcha. This is the book of First Maccabees, verse 1. It says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian.
The what?
The Macedonian.
Hey man, didn't we just read this? Look at this. Look at this. It came to prominence unto Cyrus the Great in 550 BC and lasted until it was overthrown by the Macedonians under Alexander the Great. The Bible is saying the exact same thing. And Daniel prophesied of this, man. Go ahead, I'll keep reading.
It says, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
In the first over Greece, right? So this is how you know that this third beast is talking about the Greeks, because it was the Greeks under Alexander the Great that conquered the Persians. And then what did they start to do after that? They started to Hellenize people. They started to spread those wings out that Daniel saw. Right? Give me Second Maccabees 6:6, and we're gonna come back to the First Maccabees, but give me Second Maccabees 6:6.
Second Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 6. It says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Shabbat, Sabbath days, or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. Why? Because you had Hellenization that's going on at this time. This is all under the Greek Empire.
Mm-hmm.
These are the wings that you see. It's Hellenization that's beginning to spread upon the earth, man. All right. So let's go back to Daniel 7:6. It says that after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of its wings, back of it 4 wings of a fowl. So 4 wings. You got north, south, east, and west spreading out. Then it says the beast had also 4 heads. So what are these 4 heads that are upon this beast? Well, the 4 heads represent the 4 generals that took up Alexander the Great's empire after his death. You had 4 of them. You have 4 empires, man. And the Bible describes them that when they took power, evils were multiplied on the earth. All right, let's get that. Go back to First Maccabees chapter 1.
First Maccabees chapter 1.
And start from the top again. Ain't that many verses.
It says, and it happened after this, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Mm-hmm.
and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth,
Yep. And this is that dominion that was given unto this beast, right? Read.
and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
Uh-huh.
And he had gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations, and kings who became
Tributaries.
tributaries unto him.
So basically they had to pay him taxes. They whenever you see the movies, man, and you got the gangsters that walk into like a hair salon and they say, man, this is a real nice place. Yeah, man, you're gonna need some protection. We can help you with that with a nice little fee. Make sure nothing happens to you. This is Alexander, man, shaking people down.
Hey, they let you know right now you a slave in America because you're a tributary.
You're a tributary, man. The Greeks did the exact same thing. Keep reading.
It says, verse 5, and after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die.
Mm-hmm.
It says, wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and he had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Mm-hmm.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
And the part here that's noteworthy is, and parted his kingdom among them. Among them. This goes into those four heads that we see in the third beast in Daniel chapter 7. And we're going to get more specifically of who they are. But we just see here that the Bible is trying to tell you that after this man died, his kingdom was split apart. It was split. Keep reading.
It says, and his servants bear rule everyone in his place. It says, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
And evils were multiplied in the earth, man. Right? And this is a cut on, you people that believe this is a white man book. Because once again, I don't care what nobody tells me. This is a white man. This is a white man. So how can a white man have written this book, man, and he's calling himself evil? He's saying, hey, you're telling me if the white man wrote the Bible, the white man is saying, hey, when I got into power, evils were multiplied on the earth. I made the earth more wicked.
I made it worse.
I made the world worse. Come on, man. This is how we know this book wasn't written by the so-called white man. It can't be. Because in the same book, it's calling that these people, evils were multiplied on the earth the moment Alexander's kingdom was split. So let's go into how his kingdom was split and what happened, right? Let's read this. Now, this is from World History Encyclopedia. I mean, you can't really get more official than this, right? Yeah, read these two. Yeah, read all the way to Greek culture and Philip II of Macedonia. Let me increase it so y'all can see.
Okay, it says the Hellenistic world, from the Greek word Hellas for Greece, is the known world after the conquest of Alexander the Great, and corresponds roughly with the Hellenistic period of ancient Greece from 323 BCE. Alexander's death. It says to the what am I saying the right day? Annexation of Greece by Rome.
Hey, once again, remember that. Keep reading.
It says to the annexation of Greece by Rome in 146 BCE. Although Rome's ruled in the Greek independence and autonomy, it did nothing to significantly change, nor did it in any way halt the Hellenization of the world of the day. In fact, it encouraged it.
Hey man, read that part again.
It says, and it did nothing to significantly change, nor did it in any way halt the Hellenization of the world of the day. In fact, it encouraged it.
It encouraged it, right? I didn't even notice Miracle popped off, right? But yeah, man, that is a profound statement right there, man. When Rome overtook, and I just shoot the gun a little bit early. When Rome overtook Greece, they actually pushed Hellenization. They pushed it even more. They encouraged Hellenization. Why? Because at the end, man, Alexander's vision was literally, I want to take over the world. I want to take over the world, and I want to unify the world under one rule. That was the thought of Alexander the Great. And the Romans, they loved that idea. They loved the world being under one control and one unified front. So what do? They pushed Hellenization. They continued the same Hellenization that the Greeks did. This is why when you look in the Bible, man, you have Paul telling us that there is no difference between the Jew nor the Greek, because these Greeks are still being Hellenized, even under Roman control. Right? Let's get that real quick. Let's take a little detour, right? Mirabel, you free to read? Mirabel might not be free to read. Give me Romans 10 and 12.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 12, and it reads, so like it says, for there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him.
And this is why. The reason why they still have to call them Greeks, which is really Hellen, right? When you go into it, the reason why they're saying that, look at that, Hellen. The reason why I'm saying that is because they forwarded the Hellenizations. The Romans did. Why isn't Paul saying there's no difference between the Jew and the Romans? It's written to the Romans. No, he's saying Greek on purpose because it was the Greeks that Hellenized the Jews.
I think that word there is Hellen.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Yeah,
I'll put it in. I'll go into it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not that class, to get into it, but just to show you the historical context, right? Look at this. A Hellen, a Grecian, or inhabitant of the Hellenes, by extension, a Greek-speaking person. And then, of course, they throw in especially a non-Jew, right? Gentile, Greek. But Hellen, because you have multiple nations that was Hellenized during this time. It wasn't just the Jews. It wasn't just Israel. The whole Greek Empire was being Hellenized to form to the doctrine and the ideologies of this third beast. Once again, that is why they had four wings that was being spread out. Because that's when something is underneath a wing, right? Like the phrase, I took him underneath my wing. What happens when you take someone underneath your wing? You teach them your ideologies. You teach them your ways and your experiences. In the same sense, this is what Greece was doing, right? And then we jump down to verse 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. They say, oh, look, whosoever, right? No, man, give me the Joel 2, because he's quoting Joel 2 and 32. And it says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. That's how you know these same Jews that were being Hellenized under the Greeks are the same ones that are up in Rome, because that's what the Greeks did. And the Greeks did it so well that the Romans loved it and they forwarded it. That's what this article is telling us. I don't want to add, right? It says, although Rome's rule ended Greek independence and autonomy, it did nothing to significantly change, nor did it in any way halt the Hellenization of the world of the day. In fact, it encouraged it, man. It encouraged it. And this
went harder.
It went harder on it. Man, this is World History Encyclopedia. This is historic. And the Bible is telling you the exact same thing, but you have simple-minded members of Christianity who just want to take everything and just ignore history. Like the Bible isn't a history book in itself. Yeah. You was gonna say something else?
I was about to say we just had a debate with them Christians on the street corners, and he told me Maccabees, it's not even historical, it's not even accurate. But here we are reading it and it's lining up with history. But
And it's lining up, man.
I'm just a nigga with a Bible, right?
And,
It
you know, that's
says,
what they see his ass. That's
yeah.
what they see his ass, right? But
It says,
but keep reading, not.
Since Alexander the Great of Macedon led his army on a series of campaigns which successfully conquered the then known world from Macedon. Since through Greece down to Egypt, across Persia to India, Alexander Tutor was the Greek philosopher. How you say his name? Aristotle, who impressed upon him the value of Greek culture and philosophies.
And all these places, right? Macedon, Greece, Egypt, Persia, India, the Levant area, all of these places that got overtaken by Alexander the Great, guess what? They were Hellenized. Their cultures were wiped clean. No, you're not a Persian no more. You're a Greek.
That's why technically you see white pharaohs because
yeah. And during this time, now you see the emergence of white Egyptians.
Yeah.
When you got Edomites talking about the original Egyptians were white. No, dummy, you don't know history. Egypt got conquered. They got conquered by white folks. They got conquered. This is literally the first time you see Edomites coming into power on a world global stage. The Greeks, which is why here in modern day, in the present day, who do they glorify? The Greeks and the Romans. Why? Because that was the height of their power. That's when they had all the world quiet, as First Maccabees says. Because once again, dominion was given. The Most High gave dominion to these people to rule for this set amount of time. Keep reading that.
What I leave off at? It says Alexander Tutor was the Greek philosopher Aristotle, who impressed upon him the value of Greek culture and philosophies. As Alexander's campaign, he spread Greek spread Greek thought and culture in his wake, thus Hellenizing to make Greek in culture and civilizations those he conquered.
Once again, it's historic. Those are the wings that's being spread out, man. This is why you have when you know up in John when it says you had Greeks come up to the feast. This is why who was it? Timothy's father was a Greek.
Yeah.
This is why you have there's not neither Jew nor Greek in the Bible.
Greek is just a culture. That's why it says that Greek thought and culture. Greek is just a culture. It's not a nationality.
It's not a nationality. Right? Keep reading.
It says, after Alexander died, his empire was divided among his 4 generals.
Oh, wait a minute. 4 generals? But Daniel, look at this. Boom, the beast had 4 heads. And here we're reading his empire was divided by 4 generals. So let's read who these generals are. Read.
It says, known in Latin as the Diadochi, the name
Diadochi.
Mm-hmm. It says the name by which they are still referred from the Greek, Diadochi meaning successors.
Successors. So these are our 4 successors that came after Alexander's death. These are also the 4 heads that you read about on the 3rd beast. So let's see who they are. Right? Go ahead.
How you say his name?
Lacedaemonius.
Lacedaemonius, who took Thrace and much of Asia Minor. Cassander controlled Macedonian Greece, and Ptolemy the first. Ptolemy, it said, ruled Egypt, Palestine, Sicily, Petra, and what was that? Cyprus. He found the Ptolemaic dynasty, which lasted until the death of Cleopatra. Was that the 7th? That's the 7th in 30 BCE.
Yep. Right. And this is where you get the Ptolemaic dynasty. This right here, this guy, Ptolemy, is why you have white Egyptians.
He's why you got him.
He's why you got him. We hear about Cleopatra and all that. They're talking about this Cleopatra, the one that married Ptolemy.
Hey, unfortunately, Cleopatra, a white woman, man.
White woman.
She's a white woman, man. They got us.
White woman.
That's why I'm glad when they made the little series about her. They made her black because they always whitewashing our people. So now we
Mhm.
get one of hers. You know?
Right. And then read this last one.
What is that? Seleucus,
Yeah, Solution.
Seleucian Nicator ruled the remainder of Asia and found the Seleucian Empire, which was composed of Mesopotamia, the Levant, Persia, how you say that? Levant?
Yeah, the Levant.
The Levant, Persia, and parts of India.
Now, this is who we were under. The Jews. The Jews was under Seleucian, the Seleucian Empire. This is who you read about whenever it comes talking about Antioch and all of them. It was a Seleucian Empire, and then later on it starts talking about the Ptolemy, right? Because these two were the more prominent empires. The Ptolemaic dynasty was the more successful, the more known one, but the Seleucian was the larger empire and the empire that lasted the longest out of all of them, right? So these right here would be the four heads.
So how you say the first guy's name?
Lacedaemonius.
So you got Lacedaemonius, Cassander, Ptolemy.
Ptolemy. The P is silent.
The P is silent. Okay.
Yeah.
Ptolemy and Seleucus.
And Solution. Yep. And Solution is who you read about in First Maccabees. Yeah. When it says First Maccabees 1:10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king. This guy right here was a part of the Seleucian Empire. When you look them up, right? So yeah, now go ahead, finish it out.
Since the greater or lesser extent, all of the regions were Hellenized as Greek culture and religious beliefs influenced those of the indigenous people.
At this time, the Levant, the indigenous people that was there, were the Jews.
There's the Jews, you got the Persians, you got the Asian.
Right? They were the Jews, man. And if anybody, especially those of y'all that go out on the street corners, man, save this site. Save this. This is worldhistory.org/article/94/ the Hellenistic world, the world of Alexander the G. Save this, because a lot of sources, they take offline.
They take them down.
Yeah, they take them down. But save this, man. And this is World Encyclopedia. You can't get more official. Right? Because what this is telling you not only that Rome continued Hellenization, but it also tells you what Hellenization is, and it tells you that all the regions that was conquered by the Greeks, they were Hellenized. All of them, historical. And then now you got your first Maccabees 1:48, your second Maccabees 6:6, right? You got those because you see the Bible lining up perfectly with history. This is a faith booster, man. I know it is for me. When I go through these prophecies and I go through history and it lines up, man. So let's go back to Daniel chapter 7, right? So far we got the Neo-Babylonian Empire as the first beast. You got the Medo-Persian Empire as the second beast. You got the Greek Empire as the third beast, right? And all of these beasts come right after each other, succession, right after each other. So what beast or what kingdom comes after the Greeks? Is none other than the Romans, man. It's none other than the Romans. We just read it in the last article, but it's the Romans. So let's get it, right? Maribel, you still there?
Give me 2 minutes.
Come on. Go ahead, Oz. Read Daniel 7:7.
Daniel 7:7. It says, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stampled.
Yeah,
Stampled the residue of the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there was 3 of the first horn plucked up, by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of men, and a mouth speaking great things. Ooh, that's crazy.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy, right? And we're gonna get into that, right? But let's go back to verse 7, right? So it says this fourth beast, because verse 7 and verse 8 are all still dealing with this fourth beast, which we know through history is Rome. Is Rome. Rome was the next power that overtook the Greeks. So it says, after this saw the night vision, behold, the fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. So out of all of these materials that you see, well, specifically in Daniel chapter 2, iron is the strongest. Iron is the strongest out of the gold, out of the brass, out of the clay. Iron is the strongest because it was going to be the Romans that was going to have the most military dominance. When you go into history, man, not a lot of people could mess with the Romans, right? Matter of fact, I remember one thing that kind of was crazy to me, man. You had what's his name? You had Caesar, man. I don't know which one of them, but he basically built a bridge in like 3 days. He built a wooden bridge in 3 days, marched his army across while they was fighting the Persians, marched them across, stayed there for a little bit, marched them back, and then decommissioned the bridge just to show the Persians what they could do. That's this complexity of this beast. It was different like everyone else, and especially when you go into the Roman culture. Rome had different nationalities that was comprised of their military. So whenever they would go and they would fight, you wouldn't know who you was fighting because their fighting styles would often be what you would call different or what you call it,
like a hybrid style fluid.
huh?
Hybrid style, like fluid.
Yeah, ambidextrous. That's how their military was. So it says it devoured and break in pieces and sampled the residue with the feet of it. This is the same phraseology as we had with the second beast. Let me see. Yep. Arise and devour much flesh, right? It devoured and break in pieces, going into that war and that conquest. This is what the Romans did. They went out and they conquered. And it was diverse from all the beasts that was before it, and it had 10 horns. And you remember from Revelation 13, these 10 horns are going into the EEC, the Economic European Committee. So let's get it. Let's read that real quick, right? EEC. Because they had a source on this that fully like broke down all of the founding members of the EEC, man, and they took it down. They took it down because it started to match up too perfectly with the Bible, right? So let's see. Oz, read this first paragraph, first and second.
It says the European Economic Community, the EEC, was a regional organization created by the Treaty of Rome of 1957.
Look at this, man. It was created by the Treaty of Rome, right? Keep going.
It says aiming to foster economic integration among its member states. It was I can't even say that. Subsequently renamed the European Community upon becoming integrated into the first pillar of the newly formed European Union in 1993.
So that's the EU. So the EEC turned into the EU. Keep reading.
It says in the popular language, however, the singular European Community was sometimes inaccurately used in the wider sense of the plural European communities, in spite of the latter designation covering all the three constituting entities of the first pillar.
And then read this last part.
It says in 2009, the EC formally ceased to exist in its institutions were directly absorbed by the EU. This made the Union the formal successor institution of the community.
Right. So the EEC became the EC, and the EC ultimately blossomed into what you know today as the EU, man, the European Union. These are the 10 horns that you see on this beast, right? Because it all started with the 10 common markets. That's or who signed the Treaty of Rome. And who was that? That was the Belgium, France, Spain, Denmark, Italy, Luxembourg, Ireland, Netherlands, Greece, and Portland. Those 10, those 10, those are the 10 horns, the 10 common markets that came out of the Roman Empire. All right. So let's go back to Daniel chapter 7. Now go to verse 8.
This is verse 8. Oh, remember, you got it?
I got you.
Go ahead.
This is Daniel 7 and verse 8. And I consider the horns.
Well, Salaki, before you do that, let's show the parallel in Daniel chapter 2. Let's show that parallel in Daniel chapter 2. Because remember, Daniel chapter 2 is talking about the same kingdoms. Right? Give me Daniel 2 and start from verse. Let me see. Verse 40. And look at this, man. It tells you it's talking about Rome. That's why I said these people already know. These people already know what it is. Look at this. I didn't even see this for the first time. Look, Babylon, Medio Persia, and Greece. And here it is, Rome. All right, go ahead.
This is Daniel 2 and verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for such as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things. And as iron that breaketh all these shall it break it to pieces and bruise.
And it's the same wording as Daniel chapter 7. Keep reading.
41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. For as much as thou sawest the iron mixes with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of the clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
And that's what you see today, right? When you look at the EU and you look at these nations that come together, technically they're not one nation, but they submit themselves unto a form of self-government, specifically under one prominent nation that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But these nations, you got some nations that are stronger, some nations that are weaker, but within them, because they have that alliance with each other, is still strong. That's what it's talking about when it says, hey, part iron and part clay. And this is dealing with the feet of this statue. And what do feet have? 10 toes. Right? Keep reading.
Daniel 7 or 2.
Read verse 43.
And whereas, this is Daniel 2 and verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with the miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
And you see that today, right? They try to push for everyone to be unified, for this one world government, right? Everyone to have the same ideologies.
Yeah, the melting pot.
Yeah, that big melting pot. But yet you still have strife. You still have internal conflict. You still have people that have vastly different ideas that don't really line up with each other. This is how this kingdom is partly strong and it's partly weak.
Because we see the Palestinians and the Jewish people, they over in America, they don't get along, man.
They don't get along, right? But they both will call themselves American.
You feel me?
All right. Let's go back to Daniel 7. Go to verse 8. Let's talk about this little horn.
This is Daniel 7 and verse 8.
Now remember, this little horn is still a part of the fourth beast. It's still a part of this fourth beast, which we know is Rome and later becomes the revised Roman Empire. But it's still being attributed to this one beast. That's why this beast is diverse. It's diverse because it has the longest lasting impact on the world outside of all the other beasts. Keep reading.
God, this is Daniel 7 verse 8. And I considered the horns, and behold, there came up there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of men, and a mouth speaking great things.
And a mouth speaking great things, right? So out of this, what little horn came up from the 10 horns and plucked up the three? Well, that could be none other than the good old, or shall I say, the bad old United States of America. How do we know that? It says, uh, of them another little horn before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up. So out of those 10 common markets that eventually became nations, three of them had to have lost a significant amount of power and influence. And what three do we know fell in a sorts so that America could be what it is today? Oh, that was Britannia, that was France, and that was Spain. Those are the three horns that was plucked up by the roots, because those are the three horns that had to have been, or the three nations that had to be defeated for America to rise into power. Let's look at that. This one, yeah, look at this. So this is a map. If I can blow it up. Yeah, see it. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Look at this. Right. This is a English, French, and Spanish map. What year? Just tell me what year. I get the year, but this is before the American Revolution for sure. Before America even became a nation. What are the three countries that you see? You see the Spain, the Spanish, France, the French, and then you got the Britain, which is the English colonies. All three of these belong to nations, and all three of these America had to fight wars to get. They fought the British, got control of that, right? They fought the French and later purchased all this after they whooped their ass. And then you got the Spanish. You got Spain, which they had wars with them and they conquered all of this, right? So that's how we know that this horn is America. And then specifically the horns that it plucked up, we see that in Zechariah. So let's go there. Let's go there, right? Somebody give me Zechariah 1 and 18. Just to prove that these horns
God,
are Spain, Britain, France, and this little horn is America.
God, this is Zechariah 1 and verse 18. Then lifted up, then lifted I up.
Hold on. Maybe E. 1 and 18.
You putting a K on it. Don't put a K on it.
Oh, crap, bro. All right, go ahead.
Zechariah 1 and verse 18.
God,
Then
bro. Hold on, bro. One and 18. Salakia. All right, go ahead.
Then lifted I up my eyes, and saw, and behold, four horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem.
That have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. So when we look at history, what are the four prominent nations that had a hand in our slavery and our captivity? Oh, that was the Spanish, conquistadors that captured Mexico and Central America and all that. That's why our Hispanic brothers speak Spanish today. Then you got the France. That's why you have our Haitian brothers. They speak French.
Our Creole brothers.
Our Creole brother. My great grandmother was Creole. She spoke perfect French. How she know that? Oh, because when I did my family tree, way up there, man, Massa was a French man. LeBlanc. That was his last name. He was a French man. And then you had Britannia or Britain, and then you got good old America.
Yep.
Those are the four nations that had a hand in our slavery and our captivity. And for this fourth one to come about, it had to displace these other three. That's how we know that this horn in Daniel chapter 7 is talking about America. Let me go back. All right. And then it says, the horn before whom three of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in his horns were eyes like the eyes of a man. Now, what's this talking about? This is going into the Senate and the House of Representatives. If the Senate and the House of Representatives, if they're not on the same page, laws don't get passed in America. Things don't progress. Things don't move on. Just like in Revelations 13, right? With that beast and it had those two horns, it's the same thing that it's talking about here. You got the eyes, that's the eyes of man representing the two functioning powers or parties in this system that has to be on one accord if anything can move. And then it says, and a mouth speaking great things, because we know the pride of America is unmatched. They speak as if this kingdom will never fall. Shoot, he was just telling me the other day, man, his own people drunk this Kool-Aid so much they believe that America can't be touched by Russia.
Hey, they believe Russia don't got no nuclear bombs and they don't have the technology to launch it. Yeah, they're done. They've been drinking all the Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah, bro. And then you see this, right? Give me Revelation 18 and 7. Because the Bible talks about the pride of this place.
This is Revelation 18 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
And shall see no sorrow, man. The great things that this country promotes itself as. The great thing that it says. Make America great again. We are the best nation. America, right? These are the things that this beast propagates and tells itself. And this same beast it spreads all over the world, man, through the EU. Because they do the exact same thing. If they are, that's right. America loves the Greek architects and art. They love all that. Why? Because the Romans took all that from the Greeks. Let's get back.
And in the NLT, it says, this is Revelation 18 and 7. It says, she glorified herself and lived in luxury so much, so matched it now with torment and sorrow. She boasted in her heart, I am a queen on my throne. I am no helpless widow, and I have no reason to mourn.
No reason to mourn, man. No reason to mourn. This is what this little horn is speaking. A mouth speaking great things. Right? Let's go back to Daniel chapter 7, right? So go ahead, go to verse 9.
Car, this is 9. And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garments was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool, and his thrones were like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Right, and that's going into the Most High, right? The Ancient of Days is the Most High, right? And the fiery flame and his wheels is going into these chariots. Keep reading.
Hey, real quick, this is also 9 is actually a cut on Revelation when the description of Christ, because it's literally telling you his hair is like wool.
Yeah,
So
like his
Like the pure wool.
like his father, man.
Like his dad.
there's no denying that Christ's hair is the texture of the black man, so-called black man.
Like his father, man. But in verse 9, this is talking about the Most High. We get Christ a little bit later on. But keep reading.
God, a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open.
And the books were open. And what is this book that's being opened? The books that's being opened right here is that book of life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it. Right. Give me Daniel 12 and 1. Right. Let's look at this. these books that's being opened before the Most High, and who's going to be written therein.
This is Daniel 12 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to do that same time, even that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
Written in the book, man. So before all hell and high water, it kicks off on this place, man. Hey, the elect is gonna be saved up out of here. Lord willing, man. Lord willing, we are of that number, man. Lord willing, this is why we put that brick in, so that we can be found written in this book of life. So when the Ancient of Days, when the Most High cracks that book open, our names is written in there. But our names, and when I say our names, we have to be of the people of Daniel. We have to be of the children of your people, which is Daniel, which is none other than the Israelites. It's none other than the Israelites. But not just every Israelite, man. You have to be found keeping the commandments of God. You have to be found actually serving him. Let's get that in Malachi chapter 3. What's that? 3 and 16, yeah. All right, go ahead. Somebody read that.
It says, this Malachi 3:16, it says, then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name.
So this book of remembrance is only going to be open to the Most High if you fear the Most High and you think upon his name. Right? And we all know what the fear of the Lord is. That's Psalms 40 and 8. Right? The fear of the Lord is you keeping his commandments. Keep reading.
It says, and they shall be mine, said the Lord of hosts, in that day when I wake up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him.
His own son that served him, going into that they elect and those that serve themselves underneath them. Read.
Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not.
And that's what we have to keep in mind, man. We have to make sure that we are actually putting this brick in and serving the Most High God, so that we can be found written in this book of life. Because as you see, man, there's only 4 beasts, and we're in the midst of this 4th beast right now. And the very next thing is the Most High, the Ancient of Days, coming down and opening up the books before us. Let's get back to Daniel chapter 7. Go ahead, verse 11.
Verse 11. And I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
Because that's what's coming to this place, right? And remember, it's talking about the horn, but the horn is a part of the beast. It's a part of this 4th beast. And it says given to a burning flame, because that's how this place is gonna go up, man. That's how this place is gonna go up in a ball of fire. Let's get that. Let's go back to Revelations 18 and get verse 7. All right. Yeah, read this again, but read to verse 8.
You got it. You got it.
Okay, this is Revelation 18 and verse 7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Stephen. What you on, Stephen?
What he say? He said it's the end of the world, and all you blacks are still talking about whites. Well, it's the end of the world because of the white people. So yeah, we're gonna.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, Stephen, this verse, because I'm inferring through your comment that you are of the Caucasian race. So this verse right here is for you, man. Remember, read Revelations 18, verse 7 and verse 8. And I ain't gonna let this damn devil stop the lesson either. So if you want smoke you want to talk about it, wait till the end. Go ahead.
How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her.
See,
For
Stephen, that's what's coming to you. That's what's coming to you. Torment and sorrow is coming to you and your people for what you did to my people. Keep reading.
For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Because look, and we got a prime example in the chat. A prime example in the chat talking about some pathetic. Talking about some pathetic. All the shit y'all done did when y'all was with the Greeks, when y'all was with the Romans, y'all killed our Messiah. Y'all put us on boats and chains, raped our women, destroyed our babies, bashed our babies' heads in. You talking about some pathetic? You goddamn right. I'm still talking about white people, man.
We gonna forever keep talking about y'all.
We gonna forever keep talking about y'all.
Y'all are cancer on the earth, bro.
And this is what's coming to you, man. What's coming to you and your people is torment and sorrow. Keep reading, now.
Verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her.
And that's the point, Stephen. The Lord God is going to judge you. The Lord God is going to judge you, man. We don't got to do nothing. We're going to keep talking about it because the man of sin got to be revealed.
That's right.
If you was here from the beginning of the lesson, we showed how the first beast is Babylon. The second beast is the Medo-Persians. The third is the Greeks, the white man. And then the fourth is the Romans, out of which comes a little horn that's going to be ruling, which is what? America. This same little horn is about to get destroyed. Caucasians is going to be destroyed with fire. So you're right. You're right. You're sure right. We are talking about the white man.
If you're a Caucasian person in America, or if you're a heathen period in America, this is your grave. This is your grave. You're not getting out of here, bro. This place is going to be turned into a lake of fire. That's right. Mawaf lava ball, man.
That's right. Let me put this up on there. Mawaf lava ball, man. I ain't gonna say it because you know how YouTube is, but Mawaf lava ball, man.
Mawaf lava ball, man.
Hey, if you know, you know. I'm gonna let that marinate, right? Let's get back to Daniel 7. Go to verse 11. I'm sorry. I got one more, man. I got distracted by this damn devil, right? So we know Revelations 18 and 7 says it's gonna be burnt with fire, but the cold part about it is these horns. So all of the cohorts of America is gonna turn on America, and they're actually gonna help destroy America with this nuclear fire. Go ahead, read that.
I got it. Revelation 17 and verse 16. It says, and then the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, thee shall hate the whore.
And whenever you read in the scriptures, right, the little horn, mystery Babylon, the whore, the second beast in Revelation 13, they're all talking about the same kingdom, which is America specifically. America has a specific judgment. You have an overarching beast, which includes, you know, Britain and France and Europe and all of them. But the central main, you gotta go. This is America, man. This is the people of Stephen here in the chat. Keep reading.
It says, and these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and she shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
And burn her with fire, man. And burn her with fire. So that's what's coming to this place. That's why when you look in Daniel 7, right, talking about this horn specifically and given to be to the burning flame. This place is going to get destroyed specifically. Keep reading. Go to verse 12.
You got it, Mary.
Karen, I got you. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
Right, because you know, we look at the Babylonians and the Persians, you know, it's not like those people are completely wiped off, right? They're still here. It's just they're not prominent in power, right? Keep reading.
Verse 13. And I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him.
Mm-hmm.
And there was given him dominion and glory in a kingdom that all people, nation, and language should serve him. His dominion is a everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, in his kingdom that shall not be destroyed.
And this is in fact we talking about who the world really calls Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shah is his real name, who was indeed a black man, right? Now, how do we know? Because it says one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven. That's one. We can get some precepts on that. But also, when we just look into and see that this person, the Son of Man, is being given dominion. He's been not only dominion, but he is the one that's getting the everlasting dominion. All these other beasts didn't have everlasting dominion. Dominion was given to them for a short amount of time, but here the Son of Man is getting everlasting dominion. So let's get some precepts proving that, man. And Oz, if you got some, you can always bring it out. But let me get Matthew 25 and 31.
This is Matthew 25 and verse 31.
Uh-huh.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Mm-hmm.
And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats.
Yep, keep reading.
And he shall set the sheep on the right hand, but the goats on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye bless my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
From the foundation of the world. That's it on that. But prepare for you for the foundation of the world. Daniel chapter 7 told us that the Son of Man is going to get this everlasting kingdom. And here we see Christ receiving the kingdom that has been prepared from the foundation of the world, man. And he's going to come with the host of angels with him. And as he sits upon the throne of his glory. Right, let's get another one. Give me Mark 13 and 25. All right, let's just prove that this Son of Man in Daniel chapter 7 is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ.
This is Mark 13 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the power that are in heaven shall be shaken.
And again, this goes back to, let's see, hold on, what'd you say?
He said that America is God's country. Boy, if you don't get on somewhere, bro.
Hey, man.
Bro, let's stop it right. He said blacks destroy America. Are you serious? If you want to be real with you, all we doing is learning from your people.
Hey, man. Hit the link, bro. Hit the link.
This is God's country. But you got drug addiction at a higher rate. Y'all push abortion and homosexuality. Let's stop it, Stefan. This is why America has to be destroyed, as the brother was bringing out. Revelation 18 is for sure talking about you and your people. For sure. But, man, go ahead and click the link, man, so we go ahead and cut you up a little bit, man. We got time today.
So this was going to happen, Stefan. You got 50 seconds to click this link. If you don't click this link, I'm timing you out.
Come on, man.
Pride, bro. The pride.
The pride, bro. He talking about blacks are destroying America. I'm like, are you serious, bro? You mean how is that us when your people is the one that push drugs in our community and guns in our community? Can we be real, bro? Let's just be real right now, bro. That's why I don't like, bro. That's why I don't like having conversations with white people, because they either play like they don't know what's going on, or we just crazy, bro.
But and this is why just intermission for those of y'all who sincerely listening and taking notes.
I'm outside.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish the statement. Then I'm timing your ass out, right? But this is why you have Israelites that go off on white folks, man. This is why you have Israelites, man, that come at y'all hard as fuck.
He said before the Civil War, it was 93% Christian. And what was you Christians doing at that time? Raping black folks and killing black children and enslaving us, enslaving the Native Americans, just killing the Native Americans, killing all the buffalo. Like, come on, bro. Stop it, Stephen. Stop it, Stephen.
So this is what we're gonna do, Stephen. And again, Salakia for everyone who's watching sincerely. But I just have to tell them this personally. You're a pussy, sir. Sir, ma'am, don't know. You're a pussy and you getting timed out. So yeah, have a good night. Have a good night. Salakia, y'all. Salakia. I just don't like that. I just don't like. Don't come in my comments, man, looking for smoke, trying to start something, and then when we tell you to get up on stage so we can actually have a conversation, you continue to be in the comments. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. You might as well wait till the live is over and then talk your shit in the comments. But if the live is going, man, and you put some smoke up in there, it's expected that you come to stage. If not, you a pussy and we moving on, man.
And please, if anybody else is watching, if you want the smoke, just click the link.
Preferably after the lesson. God damn.
Preferably. But if you really want it, just click the link and wait. We'll be there.
Damn, boy, Satan. Salakia, everybody. Salakia.
Let's get back to this Mark.
Yeah, let me add Maribel back. Yeah, Salakia, man. Salakia. Maribel, reread that, man. Reread that. I gotta collect myself again. Reread Mark
13 and 25.
Yeah, 13 and 25.
This is Mark 13, verse 25. And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken.
And we see that when you go back to Daniel chapter 7. You see, when it's talking about the stars of the heaven, that's talking about position of rulerships. These that are living up in their heavens, like Stephen, them that's ruling in their heavens, right? They're gonna fall, man. They're gonna fall like the stars of heaven. And the powers are going to be shaken up once Christ comes back into his providence. Keep reading.
Verse 26. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory.
The same thing that we read about in Daniel chapter 7. Read.
And then shall he send his angels and shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the othermost part of the earth to the othermost part of the heaven. Now learn.
Right. That's it on that. Right. But you see, man, like once the Son of Man comes, what happens immediately right after that is salvation, man. That book is being opened. The elect is getting saved up out of here, man, before the destruction of this country. And then the disciples, and this is how you know, once again, and it's all of this just proves who the Edomites are.
Yeah,
right?
Get that Acts 1 and 6, man.
You know where I'm going, right?
I know where you're going,
it just proves that the disciples, they understood all this. They understood that right after this last beast is in rulership comes salvation. Let's get this Acts 1 and verse 6. Right, and this is right after. This is what I do, right? This is right after Christ comes back, chills with him a little bit, and now he's about to dip off, right? Go ahead, read.
I got you. This is Acts 1 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?
Because they know the prophecies. They know the prophecies of Daniel chapter 7. They know the prophecies of Daniel chapter 2. Immediately after these kingdoms is what? It's the kingdom of Israel gets restored again. Where is everybody in this?
They ain't ask about nobody else.
Because here's the thing. Since we know, again, I got to go through the succession. If we know Babylon's the first beast, the Medo-Persians the second beast, the Greeks, aka the white man, is the third, the Romans, aka the white man, is the fourth, and after that, all of them gets destroyed, specifically what comes from the fourth beast, which is the horn. How is salvation for everybody? If the horn is getting destroyed, the beast is getting dismantled, And the Son of Man is coming to trample all these nations. It can't be. You're breaking prophecy. You're just breaking prophecy. Keep reading on.
Con and Acts,
No, that's it on that.
or go back to Daniel.
Yeah, that's it on that.
I'm Daniel 14.
Yeah. We can go back to Daniel, but just to show the parallel, go to Daniel 2.
Con.
Daniel 2 and verse 34. Right?
No, we read 34 already.
Yeah, we're gonna read it again. Last time we kind of just skimmed through it.
Okay.
Con, this is Daniel 2 and verse 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces.
And this is what Christ is coming to do. He's coming to lay waste to all of these nations, man, and restore again the kingdom of Israel. Now, how do we know that this stone is Christ? Let me get Isaiah 28 and 16, right? Just to get some precepts. Because once again, Daniel chapter 7 and Daniel chapter 2, they mirror each other, right? Both of which have Christ in there. And what Christ is doing, he's destroying these other nations while restoring the kingdom of Israel. Wait, read Isaiah 28 and 16.
Con, this is Isaiah 28 verse 16. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation of stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a pure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste.
Shall not lay haste, right? So the Lord is telling us he's going to place a cornerstone. And this same stone, and because he is the one placing it, this is why in Daniel chapter 2, there's a stone that's cut out without hands. So who is this stone? Hey, it's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Give me that in Ephesians 2 and 20. Whenever you got it out.
Con, Ephesians 2 and 20. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20. And are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone.
Being the chief cornerstone. So this stone is that's cut out without hands is Christ. That's what we see in Daniel chapter 2 and verse 34, and is mirroring Daniel chapter 7. Keep reading.
In Ephesians? Con.
Daniel 2.
Oh, Daniel 2. Okay. This is Daniel 2 and verse 35. And then was the iron and clay and brass and silver and the gold broke to pieces together. It became like a shaft of the summer threshing floor, threshing floor, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth.
And that mountain is going into nation, man. That stone brings again the restoration of the kingdom of Israel, and the kingdom of Israel is going to fill the entire earth. Now I go back to Daniel chapter 7, right? This is why in verse 14 it's saying his dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, in his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. This is that mountain that's filling the entire earth. Go ahead.
God, it's Daniel 7 and verse 15. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the vision of my head troubled me. I came near until one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things.
Mm-hmm.
These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth.
Right, and just to recap, man, that's the Neo-Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, and then the Roman empires with that little horn with two eyes being America. Keep reading.
Verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possesses the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
And here it is, man. The people that's getting this kingdom are the saints. They are the saints, the set apart ones. This is not everybody and their mama. All right, let's look at this. Right, let's go into saints. Right now, Daniel was written in Aramaic, but it corresponds to the Hebrew 6918, which means what? Sacred, holy, holy one, saint, set apart, Kodash. Translated holy 65 times, holy one 39 times, saint 12 times. It's the set apart ones that are going to inherit the kingdom of God. So who in the Bible are set apart? It's none other than the Israelites, man. And you can see that. Let me see if I can pull it up from here, which would be cold if I can. Where is it? Where is it? Yep. Look at this. Leviticus 20. Yep. Look at this. The same word in Daniel chapter 7 that says the saints shall possess the kingdom is the same word that's being attributed to Leviticus 20 and 26. Someone read that for me.
Leviticus 20 and 26 is saying, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine.
That you shall be mine. And contextually, he's talking to the Israelites. The Israelites are the ones that were severed from other people. They are the ones that's going to inherit the kingdom of God forever and ever and even ever. An everlasting kingdom.
I was say that's why when you read Paul, sometimes he addresses the people that he's writing to as the saints. But we only know there's only one group of people that's been separated from God and made holy, because that's what saint mean. It means to be separated, to be holy.
Yep.
And it's a precept in Psalms 50 and verse 5.
Oh yeah, we're getting all that. We're getting all that because the Bible tells you who these saints are. And if you know who the saints are, you know that they are the ones getting the kingdom forever and ever and even ever. Right? So this Psalms 148 and 14, he exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. So these are the saints. The saints are the Israelites. The book that's being presented before the Most High, the Ancient of Days, only Israelites are written in that book. Salvation in Daniel chapter 7 is emphatically going to the Israelites. Let's get another one. Give me Psalms. Now let's get that Psalms 50 and 5.
This is Psalms 50 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
A covenant with the Most High by sacrifice. No other nation made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice but the Israelites. We see that in Exodus 24 and verse 3. Remember, go give me that. Exodus 24 and 3. Just to show the people. And read down to verse 8. Just to show you. Because Psalms 50 and 5 says, hey, those that made a sacrifice with me. These are the set apart ones. These are those that are attributed to be saints. Keep reading.
This is Exodus 24 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all of the judgments, and all of the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord has said we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
According to the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Go ahead and jump to verse 8.
This is verse 8. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you concerning all these words.
And this is what makes us set apart. This is what makes saints saints. Because in Exodus chapter 24, they made a blood covenant with the Most High God. No one else on this planet did that. No other nation did that. So when you go back to Daniel chapter 7, right, and it says, where's that? Verse 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. That's Israel, man. That's Israel. You would have to explain to me how any other nation was set apart. Because if another nation was set apart, guess what? Then neither of those nations are set apart. None of them can be set apart if there's a nation outside of Israel that can now be saints as well, just by definition. Go ahead, Marable, go to read down.
Kai, will we go to 19?
Yeah. Read down to verse 25.
Kai. This is Daniel 7 and verse 19. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of I'm sorry, Salaki, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
So we see, man, we see that when this little horn gets into power and rulership, not only is it going to make war with the saints, with the Israelites, it is going to be the last ruling power before the Ancient of Days comes, before deliverance, before salvation. This little horn is what's going to be in a position of rulership. This little horn is going to have the last dominion on the planet. This little horn. So when we look at it, who in this world is also prophesied to have the last dominion on the planet? Let's see, man. Give me Obadiah 21. Got a few more and then we out of here, right? Give me Obadiah 1 and 21.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 21. It says, and Savior shall come up upon, Salakia. And Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's.
So before the kingdom is established, man, you have saviors that's going to come up, and Esau is going to get judged, showing you that, hey, before the end of the world, the Edomites are still going to be here, and they are the ones that are going to have to receive judgment upon that day. Let's get another one. Give me Lamentations.
I'm already here.
Yep, you already know. Give me Lamentations 4, man.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelled in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunk and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
He will discover thy sins. So at the same time that our punishment is over, Esau is getting punished. Their iniquity is going to be visited upon by the Most High whenever Israel gets saved, when Israel gets that redemption. This is at the end times. But what also is in line with right before Israel gets redemption? Oh, there's going to be a little horn that's in power. So this little horn has to be the Edomites. And we know that because, once again, the Greeks are so-called Caucasians. The Romans are so-called Caucasians. America, so-called Caucasians. Is right here plain in the text. And let's get one last one. You got what you got. What you got, Eyes?
2 Ezra 6.
Yep.
I'm gonna start at verse 7 and get the context.
Con, let me get that right. Just to hammer it.
Just to hammer it in. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting of sunder of the times? Or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
The beginning of it that follows. And we see, and then we went into that word world there is aeons. Aeons or going into
A time.
the times and the way of life right now. Esau is at the end of this world. Esau is at the end of this aeon. And in the same breath, according to Daniel chapter 7, that little horn is going to be at the end of the world as well, right before salvation. So that's how you know, hey, this is Edomites, man. It's the so-called white man is the one that is ruling right now. Daniel 7 proves that because we know emphatically who those beasts are. You can't play games with that. If you try to play games with that, you have to now just deny history. And at that point, I don't want to talk to you because you're an idiot. Just being real. By definition, you are an idiot. You are. Everybody knows Babylon is that first beast. Daniel says it, his history says it, and then from there you just follow the breadcrumbs, and it's gonna lead you smack dab to the white man is gonna be the last ruling power. All right, so let's go back. Let's finish Daniel 7 out. Go ahead, Doc. I think he was in verse what 23.
Con. This is Daniel. This is Daniel 7.
Just read down.
Say it again.
I said just read down to 27.
All right, Con. This is Daniel 7 and verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. It shall devour the whole earth, and it shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
And that's exactly what the white man does today, man. The whole earth is treaded down. The oceans are crap. The rainforests are crap. That's why this dude was in the chat talking about blacks destroyed America. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Just look at the earth and look at what the white man has done since he's come into power. Keep reading.
Con. Verse 24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them. And he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings.
Yep, and he's diverse, man, because of his influence on this earth, man. And this is America they're just talking about. There's a king that's going to arise after the 10 kings. It's talking about America. Keep reading.
Con. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
And once again, man, that's how you know it's diverse because no other beast had this power to change times, to change laws, to change how people just view life in general. It was only given to this beast specifically that little horn. Keep reading.
Come, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it until the end.
Mm-hmm.
And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him.
And all dominion shall serve and obey him, man. Going into the kingdom of Israel, man. When we have our land back, when we have that dominion, and we have, yes, we're gonna have slaves in the kingdom, obeying us and serving us, man. They all dominion shall serve and obey. All right. Let's go back to Daniel chapter 2 real quick, because it says the same thing. Give me Daniel 2 and start from verse 44.
This is Daniel 2 and verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
And that point is profound, right? Because it says, in the days of these kings, God shall set up the God of heaven shall set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. We are in the process of building the kingdom up right now. Right? That's why Christ said this. Just give me Luke, and I'll read this one so you can stay where you are, Mary. But give me Luke 21. Hold on, let me put a red letter. I don't know why it doesn't just already come on red later. But this is Luke 17:21. I'll start from 20. And when he was demanding of the Pharisees when the kingdom of God should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God comes not with observation, neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. So what we're doing right now, man, we are in the process of building our kingdom up, the building blocks of it. And then all the prophecies is just going to fall in line like dominoes because we're at this end.
We're building the kingdom is by teaching you Negroes.
Yep.
Because we are the kingdom of God. We are the kingdom. The kingdom is not a building or a place. It's us. Just like how we are Israel as a people. It's not the land. We are Israel.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Go ahead, Maribel. Keep reading.
And the kingdom shall not be left to no other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
And it shall stand forever, man. It's going to break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, man. All of these heathens, man, all these nations that you see round about, man, they're going to have to bow the knee to the Israelites, to the saints of the Bible. All right, let me get Amos 9 and verse 11. All right, it reads, Amos 9:11, in that day I will raise up the tabernacles of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruin, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom. There goes Esau again. It's synonymous. The moment Israel gets salvation, Edomites get judged, and they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen, which are called by my name, said the Lord that does this. This is how we're going to trample the residue. This is how we're going to break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, because we're going to put them in chains, man. We're going to rule them with a rod of iron, as Christ said. Right? It was this Revelations 2:26. I wonder if it's going to give me a red letter on this. Oh, yeah, they fucked up. Look at this. Revelation 2:26 says, but he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And that's red letter, man. That is how we're gonna break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, all these nations. Go ahead, Maribel, finish this out. This is the last verse.
Hitherto is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cognitions much trouble me.
Verse 45.
Say it again.
Verse 45, Daniel 2:45.
Oh, God, I'm 28. This is Daniel 2:45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountains without hands, and that is break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great God have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure.
And the interpretation thereof is sure, man. So everything that we read, it shall come to pass. It shall come to pass. All of the beasts, they're going to have their complete dominion taken, and the saints shall take the kingdom, man. They shall take the kingdom forever and ever and even ever, right? So, hey, man, that is Daniel chapter 7, and by extension, Daniel chapter 2. Brothers, if y'all got anything y'all want to add, let me check the chat. If there's any questions, comments, or smoke, now is the time.
All the people that say Esau is not the white man, it's Ishmael. Let's get it.
It's over.
Yeah, man. If not, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Once again, man, the brother Yaqua, by now, if you don't know his situation, the brother has cancer, man. He got cancer. He's doing well. He's almost at his goal, right? So just a little bit more, man, if it's on your heart, to go ahead and send some alms to the brothers, man. Alms cover a multitude of sins, and even if you don't, even if you don't have it on your heart to send a prayer up, right? Because a prayer is way more valuable than monetary money, man, because the prayers of the righteous availeth many, right? So you can actually help him out just by praying for the brother. All right, so just pray for the brother, man. Like I said, he's doing well. He's in good spirits, man. He should be out of the clear sometime in December, I think he told me. So in December, man, he can be back out. Y'all probably won't see him too much on the videos moving forward. It's just not it's not it's not good for his health right now.
As much as you want to come out.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, man. He want to be out there, man. He want to be out there to serve y'all, man, to serve the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But right now, the brother just needs to take it easy and just focus on his health right now. But the water for everyone that has donated, the water for everybody and their prayers. Also, we have a record label, man. The record label is called Space City Records. Space City Records, right? If y'all want updates on the music, go follow the Space City Records page on Instagram right now. Go follow it right now. We're gonna have a YouTube page set up pretty soon, right? Because we got this album coming, man. I ain't gonna tell y'all when just yet, but I'm gonna say this: it's gonna be within this month. It's gonna be within this month. We got an album coming within this month, man. And who knows, y'all might get blessed real soon with something. So y'all just tap in. I'm again, Space City Records. We're gonna have it on the channel too, but Space City Records, man. Space City Records. We got the music coming in. The brother Yaquab got multiple tracks on the album, man. Hey, it's about to be something like I ain't never seen before. All right. So with that, man, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah, and I say Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, family. This is a very important message to the nation. We need your help for Officer Yaquab. He's going through some health problems. The brother is currently in the hospital and would really appreciate any donation you can provide. Shalom.
Shout out to Wild. That's my mini because I'm old as not. Why you older than me? Hey, I'm your mini. What the fuck I'm saying? And what's 31?
Get checked. Is this thing on? What you say? Get the dog. You know that video? Yo. You know, we the children of the slaves. We talk to him, nigga. Poverty, oppression, miseducation, confusion. Deprived of humanity. And I love like Solomon's heart, nigga. Yup. And through the midst of ignorance, we trying to make a way. Last one, my tone wasn't all the way right. I'm trying to make sure my tone right this time. Yup. But I can't project myself. I gotta keep it like that. You feel me? Let me see how to say it real smooth. Listen, fine wine, I'm wondering where's the time gone. Trying to spread truth. Why niggas worry about the belts with the rhinestone. Insecurity covers you like the pyramids limestone. These niggas follow in the cobblestone, but you forgot about the cornerstone. I drop gemstones. I'm 10 toes like the Flintstones. We on fire, that's a Flintstone. Nigga breaking barriers and milestones. Super solid like the rock of the church. Flooded Dickies, that's for Calvo. He was rocking them first. Speaking of high water, I got water, keeping the law. That book will put a magnification glass on your flaws, nigga. How's it feel when you look in the mirror and your reflection's unfamiliar? The guilt will fuck around and kill you.
That's why nigga nice.
Yup, that's why nigga nice. You feel me?
You know, niggas can say what they want to say, but we stand up.
Listen, all my Hebrews stand up. Niggas is sweeter than cheesecake, and we elevated the grand lux. I tried making them bangers, they wasn't hearing it. My bro said I rap like that with less experience. I took it as a compliment, but really hate how niggas who got more exposure can overshadow accomplishments.
Look, hey, niggas don't understand. They want to make bangers and don't put them out. They do a disservice to the nation. You know?
Happiness is a foreign image. We piss poor since the elbow scrapes with Neosporin in it. SMH, let me mourn a minute. And I ain't looking for no pity party, just a potty to piss in. No wonder we ignorant, self-righteous, uplifting, undereducated scholars flipping government assistance, pants hanging and gang banging to die, representing something that you never own, living in the unknown. The chief cornerstones missing in your foundation is correlation versus causation. The domino effect predicts your wealth, social status, and your health. Any other questions, ask Uncle X, no relation. Later known as Jaquab, I got some knowledge on me, little bit of seasoning and mileage on me, and I grew the fro out, picking it, looking like I got a blowout, walking through the projects with my Bible on me, nigga. That's facts, nigga.